Hey everyone, Simon here with a Lucky Times special technique and update. You may be wondering why I have the scruff. Well, today, for those of you watching way in the future, today was a huge Bitcoin sell-off slash crash. And I got up super early just to make sure everything is okay. Everything is okay. We're still on target to reach our goals by the end of this year. So maybe I'll say a little something more about that at the end. But that explains the scruff. Now, the topic for today is I'm going to show you a new special Lucky Times technique and one that you can use in your everyday life. I've tested this. We've tested this with people. And again, I don't share stuff with you that's just theory, that's just, oh, this probably works. Yeah, no. I test the stuff for you in advance and for me, obviously for my own research and my own satisfaction, so that you don't have to, right? So you don't have to go through the all the research and stuff. So I'm going to get into and show you what that Lucky Times technique is in a moment. But first, let me just dispel a few rumors and just get rumors, not really rumors, but get some things out of the way. Um, we made this Lucky Times app. It was free for about a year or so for everybody while we were still researching it. We've put in, I mean, probably hundreds of hours into this thing. And so now we're asking for a donation. You can choose whether you could pay $5 a month, 10, 50 a month, whatever you want to pay, right? Or you could sign up for a lifetime of this app. This has nothing to do with any of the other memberships or classes that I've done. So this is its own thing. That's number one. Number two, when you get your app, you're going to get a printout. Let me see if I could find it here. Okay, and it looks, the calendar will look something like this. And you'll see a bunch of techniques. Technique M2, T1, H2. The reason we did this is each of these represent a different Lucky Times technique, many of which I've taught publicly for free on the YouTube channel, some of which I teach privately in our crypto questions answered class. Let me let in some more light here. Looks like it's kind of dark. And so I would say 90% of the techniques that I've taught either publicly or in our crypto questions answered group that has a special folder called Lucky Times Techniques are in there. Okay. Only about 10% of the techniques are ones that I haven't shared yet. So the reason we mark them as M1, T1, and so on is to differentiate them, but we do that for you. We don't do it for us. So the easier thing for us would be to say lucky time all the way across. So lucky time, lucky time, lucky time, lucky time, and that's it. But then you wouldn't know which techniques work best for you. Now, some of you have written in and go, oh, what's T1 mean? Well, if you're an astrologer, you could probably figure it out. Just go to that time, see what's happening in the chart, and you've studied with me. If you've taken my classes, you'll probably figure it out. But I'm not sharing publicly what all these techniques are because it took us, like I said, hundreds of hours to develop and test them. So instead of being grateful for, oh, look, we've got all the techniques and they've separated them out and now I can test them to see what works for me. People are like, no, give me what the technique is. Sorry, don't work like that. So if you're happy, and look, I'm going to just digress a little bit. Yesterday, I made a video showing Lucky Times and how they work. And I used 50 cents. I used a slot machine like I do to test because there's no skill involved. Let me see. Let me pull that video up right now. And then some people commented and said, oh, we only won like $50. Here it is. This was May 16th. So a couple days ago. Okay. That was this video. And I showed you how the moment the lucky time struck, we won. But I was betting a very small amount. So today I said, okay, let's try it again. Now I didn't make a video on this. I just did it privately. I didn't have time to set up my mic and everything. And so here's what I won. Okay. You could see the timestamp. I think you can see the share screen here. The timestamp, you see, May 19th, today's May 19th. This is just earlier today, but the bet size was higher. So, guys, if something is producing results, but you're only wagering 50 cents or $1, you're going to have a smaller return. That's because I'm not trying to gamble. I'm not trying to win big bucks. This is not my livelihood. This is to test and show you guys this stuff works in a way that's independent from skill, independent from any other influence. These I'm just clicking, play on the clicking the space bar. So what I did today is I checked my lucky times, and I had a really good one, a stack of 3, okay, on top of each other. And it was like a 5-6 minute window. I said, I'm going in and I'm going to go bet deeper. So I bet $20 per spin. Okay, significantly more. And again, I only did this to show the power of lucky times. I'm not telling you to go do this because you can get wrecked if you don't know what you're doing. If you're too greedy, even if you win, you can keep playing past your lucky time and lose it all. In fact, that's what the casinos expect from you. So part of this is mind training. Okay, part of this is going, I've got a 5-minute window where all the times interlap. Now look, sometimes it's not precise. Sometimes you're going to hit your lucky time out of the window a minute or two before the window. See, phone call from God. You got to be flexible, but you also have to be very disciplined. So what did I do? I said, I'm going to work. I went in. The whole thing took about 20 minutes. I made sure everything was in place. I started playing the moment the lucky time started. I hit spin, nothing, spin, nothing, spin, nothing. On the 4th spin, I won $1,300. Then I spun another couple times. I won a little bit more. Actually won three jackpot. This was the big one. I won like 140 on the second one and like 80 on the third one. I spun a few more times and then I was out. But that all took about 10 minutes. So when you know the lucky time is over, you have to have the mental discipline and go, my work here is done, whether you've won or not. Now, I'm saying this to the people who like gambling, who like playing slots, who like doing poker or whatever it is, or whatever it is. Use your lucky time like you're a professional. Use it, and when it's over, don't expect anything special. Expect that your results will go down. Right? The lucky times give you a 10 to 20% boost, sometimes more. When they're over, your boost comes down. It's like, when you're playing Pac-Man and you gobble that thing up and you become invincible for a little bit, you better go and do everything you can with it while you're invincible, because as soon as it's over, you're immortal again. Now the little ghost can get you. So I did this in response to somebody who said, oh, well, you only won like 40, 50. Well, that's playing with 50 cents. Today I played with $20, won over $1,000 in about 10 minutes. Not bragging, because it doesn't always happen. Here's the other thing. If your lucky time is over and you've lost for whatever reason, because there are always other factors, other circumstances, if it didn't play out, that 20, 30% boost didn't help you, you still have to stop. You can't keep trying and pushing, because that's when you know you're a seasoned, mature person, when you can stop when you want to stop. So let's say you played during your lucky times, you lost $200, lucky time is over. You're like, okay, didn't work for me today, on to the next one. All right. You have to have that attitude. And you note, okay, whatever the technique was, let's say it's T2, that didn't work for me today. You keep a journal. If you keep a journal for 2 months, 2 months, that's all I ask, 60 days, you will know which lucky times are perfect for you. They give you that extra boost so that you have a secret weapon. You go in armed, whether it's in a work meeting, whether it's can you imagine yourself in a work meeting? You're like, all right, 10:57 a.m. is my lucky time, and it lasts through 11:30. And you're like watching the clock, meeting's going, 10:57. I have something to say. And you stand up, you deliver your thing, and everyone's like, oh my God, this guy's amazing. Where did this come from? Right? You can use it like that. And so forth, right? So, so what am I trying to say here? That you have to be smart and mature with your use of your biorhythm, understanding when your biorhythm, when you're getting that extra boost and when you're not. And when you're not, just pull back. Say, okay, I'm done for today. If you can do that, then you're qualified for the next step. You're qualified to use these techniques I'm showing you. If you can't do that, if you're an addict, if you're addicted to the thrill, this isn't thrilling. It's fun when you're winning, but that's the reward of hard work, research, and discipline. When you can just click escape and you're gone. That's also the great thing about being online is it's not like you have to drive, to a casino or to somewhere where poker is played or horse races, whatever, none of which I condone. But it's harder when you're in the casino. You kind of want to hang around like, hey, it took me an hour to get here. Now 5 minutes are over. Okay, I won $500, but I'll just keep playing, right? They count on that. You have to be smarter and stronger than what they expect. So, okay, so that's a response. Sorry, I got into this rolling tangent here, but that's a response to the question. The times work whether you're using them or not, whether you're betting 10 cents or $1,000. But you have to know, again, how to use them. You have to stack them. One time is not enough. Best is to stack two. If you could stack three, that's even better. All right. And so what we're doing with the LuckyTimes app is we're constantly adding new techniques. And again, like I said, I'm not going to tell you explicitly what those techniques are. I'm sorry, but your $10 a month is not, it's not an astrology tutorial. It's to deliver this calendar to you in an easy way so you could see, oh, boom, look at that, 9:22 a.m. I got a technique. In fact, I think mine was right here. These two techniques overlap. And there was actually a third thing which we haven't programmed yet. And this is the bomb. It is micro times, literally 1 to 2 minute, super powerful, like little pew, 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 fireworks that they come and go really fast. Well, there was one right in between these two, and I caught it. And that's the one where I got the $1,300 bonus. That's why I also bet a little bigger, because I knew I would have a much better chance. I'm not going to bet $20 a spin on just random. That's crazy. That's gambling. We don't do that. We don't gamble. We test intelligently. All right. So, yeah. So what you're going to get with the LuckyTimes app is this calendar printout. There will be a video explaining how to make sure you get it. And you just scroll for your day. Let's see if I want to look at tomorrow. Wow, look at this. I got a bunch of stuff going on here. Maybe I'll take advantage of this around 1:51 tomorrow, do something with it. Look at this, couple techniques going on here. 1:26, 1:48 a.m. Good stuff. Guys, this is what gives you an advantage over everybody else. So you set your alarm for 12:30 a.m. You get up and you write that email, right? Whatever it is. Most of you are not going to be gambling, and thank God. Most of you are going to be doing something like working on your business, sending out that newsletter that you want to send for maximum results, sending out that resume. Well, look at this. This is a powerful time. You got a money yoga and 2 times right here. I would get up at 12:30 and press send and then go back to bed. That's how you do it. So to answer those questions about winning amounts, and then about well, what's the technique? What's C1? What do you care? If you're an astrologer, go to my LuckyTimes video tutorials. It's all there. All the techniques are there. If you're not an astrologer, well, it doesn't help you anyway. All it will help you is to know, oh, C1 worked for me, but maybe K1 didn't, right? Keep a journal, 2 months. I'm telling you, you'll be able to get so much more from this. I use this for when I was researching sports. I kept a journal for 2 months, every day, every nakshatra, every star that the moon was in which, and because I would place wagers every day, which nakshatras tended to produce the best results for me. The only way you'll ever know is when you actually put something on the line, like money. That's real Shakti. You can't make the prediction and say, oh, yeah, I thought that team would win, but no, the other one won. But no, I had a feeling that the other one would win too. What you bet is your prediction. What you put down on paper, or on the computer, and you sign your name and you put a dollar amount to it, that's your prediction. There's no going back on that. So when you do that, and then you'll see which nakshatras will do well for you. The moon is in Ashwini. Did I win? Let me check my journal. And how much? The moon was in Bharani, and so forth. This is a similar thing. Oh, when technique C1 was playing, did I win? Yes, but only a little bit. Technique R2, did I win? No. Technique A1, yes, and I won a lot. Okay, and then you keep going, and pretty soon you'll notice patterns. All right, so do that. Journal for 2 months, just 2 months. And if you go in at the lowest level, it's just $5 a month. It'll cost you $10 for those 2 months to be a member of our thing. So, of course, we'd love if you donate more, but whatever you can afford is fine, especially in the beginning. All right, enough about that. Now to the technique I'm going to show you that is actually programmed in the LuckyTimes. This is in our LuckyTimes app. So if you're not an astrologer, do not worry. This technique will automatically be displayed. It's the last one we added, and I insisted. Our programmer was exhausted after 16-hour days of, troubleshooting and this and that. And I said, we have to have this technique in there. And he did it. By golly, he absolutely did it. All right, so what is this technique? This is called the Yogi Avayogi technique. And before you go, oh, you've covered that. No, I haven't. Check this out. First, you have to find who the Yogi planet is. Okay, this gives you a little printout here. So here the Yogi is Mercury. The Avayogi, or the opposite, is Mars. Now, here's a quick way to calculate the Yogi and the Avayogi. If the Yogi is Mercury, then the Avayogi will be the 6th planet from it in the Dasha scheme, the Vimshotri Dasha scheme. So Mercury, Ketu, Venus, Sun, Moon, Mars is the 6th one. You got it? So if Mars is the Yogi, Mars, Rahu, Jupiter, Saturn, Mercury, Ketu is the Avayogi, and so forth. The 6th one in the Iyer technique, this is an Iyer technique, and he took it from Nadi, ancient Nadi, South Indian Nadi astrology. This is called the soul enemy, S-O-L-E, enemy. And this also applies in the Navamsha. In fact, in all of the Amshas, all of the subcharts, the soul enemy technique. That's a separate thing. So, for example, the soul enemy of Saturn, Mercury, Ketu, Venus, Sun, Moon is the 6th from Saturn. If they interact with each other, they cause problems with each other, because one is the Yogi, one is the Avayogi, you could say. Anyway, so the Yogi for this chart was it Mercury? I forgot. Mercury, I think. Hold on. Yeah, I think it's Mercury. So the Yogi is Mercury. The technique says when the Yogi planet transits your ascendant, the whole sign, that will be a lucky time for you. Okay, so if Mercury is your yogi and you're a Gemini right now, literally, well, hold on, this is May 26th. Well, anyway, starting May 26th, the yogi will be transiting your ascendant. That's a generally lucky time for you. But it becomes especially lucky when the yogi is within 2.5 degrees on either side of your ascendant. So if your ascendant isn't, now check this out. We actually have the yogi and the duplicate yogi in the same sign. And the Avayogi in the same sign. All right. So watch this. We're going to do something cool here. So let's say you're a Gemini ascendant in the Vedic, in the Vedic system, obviously. This is Vedic astrology tutorial. And let's say your ascendant is 27 degrees. 27 degrees. Okay. So now what's been happening for you actually right up until today, this day, May 26th. Today's not the 26th, it's the 19th, but for some reason the chart was set there. You've actually been experiencing Mars transiting your ascendant, which is the Avayogi. It's the planet of, I don't want to say bad luck, but it brings you things that you don't necessarily desire. It can be difficult for money, expenditures. So plan on having, if you're planning to spend money, this would be a good time to spend money. It's just something you have to get through. Okay, so since Mars entered Gemini, you should have been probably experiencing that. But the moment Mars hit within 2.5 degrees of your ascendant, which is 27 degrees, okay, and of course we could do it here, right, in the South Indian, let's say 27 degrees, which you could see it is now. Now it's at 26 degrees. You will experience a concentrated period of lack of prosperity, difficulty with finance, and with materializing your desires. Okay, so just be ready for that. Be careful. And, this is a case for, oh my God, well, what if the Avayogi is Saturn? Well, then that period's going to last longer. The good news is, once it's done, you won't see it for another 27.5 years, right? So every, what if it's the moon? Well, you see it once a month. You see it for at least a day every month. Technically 2.5 days, or 2.25 days, whatever, the time that it takes the moon to transit your ascendant, but especially when the moon hits your ascendant degree within 2.5 degrees on either side. Orb. Okay, so for this person, this theoretical person, right now they're experiencing extra financial pressure, but at the same time, the yogi has stepped into their ascendant, meaning that they're going to get some help. They're going to get help. And when that yogi, when Mercury itself reaches 27 degrees, then the opposite will happen. Remember, Mercury is the yogi. You're going to get easy prosperity coming to you. Guys, if you're an investor, if you're a poker player, if you're planning a job promotion, you can use this to time when you schedule these things, when you schedule your maximum payout. Let's say you're an investor. You can see when your yogi transits your ascendant, that's probably is going to be the height of your gains. So you probably want to sell then. When the Avayogi, in this case, in this chart, Mars, transits your ascendant, that's when actually you want to buy, because that'll be a time when your finances will likely be down. You may not be able to buy, or that'll be a time you don't want to plan, a job promotion meeting or something like that. You just want to chill or give to charity. It's a great time to give money to charity. Give $20 to Operation Smile. Give $20 to Heifer International. Give $20 to kiva.org. Give $20 to Save the Children. Give $20 to any number of charities that, listen, you're going to lose that money anyway. Better that it go to help a child with cleft palate. Better that it go, to help someone working in a third world trying to feed their family. Better that it go to a good cause. So during the Avayogi transit to your ascendant, give, 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 give. Okay. Now, if you're not an astrologer, remember I said you don't have to be an astrologer. This is one of the lucky times. Maybe we'll reveal in the Lucky Times app this specific technique. I'll give you a hint. See, for those of you guys who actually stayed till now, I'm giving you a little bonus hint. It'll be called, or it is called, something like Lucky Week or Lucky. Actually, I genuinely don't know. I forgot. But it has a different. It's not a number. It's not like C1 or T2. Those are specific techniques. This is like it's a special lucky time. So you'll know that it's this Yogi and Avayogi technique. Now, what if it's the moon? The moon every 28 days will go through each sign. So that means one day of the year, let's say the moon is your yogi, your prosperity planet. One day out of every 28, and you got to time it to where it's within 2.5 degrees of the ascendant. So that'll actually only be about, 6 to 8 hours every month. But hey, you're lucky. 6 to 8 hours of every month, you got a little bonus thing where just everything should go swimmingly, better for you than normal. If the moon is the Avayogi, then there's 6 to 8 hours every month where, you just give something to charity. You can plan to do that. What if it's Saturn? Oh my gosh. Well, Saturn spends 2.5 years in every sign. So let's say you're a Capricorn ascendant. Let's flip this now to a Capricorn ascendant. Boom. So let's say the ascendant is Capricorn, and now Saturn, let's say he's your Avayogi, has been in your ascendant for a while, and he's going to be there. Saturn spends an average of 2.5 years in a sign. Does that mean all 2.5 years are going to go bad for you? No. It just means that this is a time, all other factors being equal, to give more than you take, to invest rather than reaping, to sow rather than to reap, you can say. And the time when the most difficulty will be when Saturn is within 2.5 degrees of your ascendant. So let's say your ascendant here is 20 degrees in Capricorn. Well, look at that. Saturn is coming right up to it right now. Actually, he's retrograde, so he's moving away from it. But he's still within 2.5 degrees. You see? So what about the other way? Hey, Simon, what if Saturn is my yogi? Isn't Saturn a bad planet? Not for you. Now, also, if he's your yogi, but your ascendant in it is Aries, where Saturn is debilitated, how we get a little bit of an issue. So Saturn transiting your ascendant while debilitated is not going to be good for some things, for health, for career. Ruler of the 10th house in the ascendant debilitated is going to produce some problems. But if he's the yogi, those problems will be mitigated and they will actually lead to good things. There's a little black cat walking around here. That's Lord Shani. See, he can be very benevolent too. So, and what if it's this guy, Jupiter, the yellow dog? Well, if he's the yogi, then great. Everything is going to go great for you. If he's the Avayogi, Jupiter, like any planet, this Avayogi, will produce problems for you, but you won't feel so bad about it because it's Jupiter. He's a benefic. So you'd be like, yeah, I lost my house, but it's okay. It was meant to happen. These things happen, right? Because it's Jupiter. You feel good about it. You're philosophical about it. So this is a kind of a simplistic explanation, but try out this technique. Whatever your ascendant is, see what your yogi is, see when it will transit the sign that let's say if you're Libra, when will, let's say Jupiter is the yogi. When will Jupiter transit? Oh my gosh, not for many years. Okay, well, then this technique is not going to be pertinent to you. But if you're an Aquarius ascendant, yeah, I bet you're feeling this already. And Jupiter is your yogi. So try it out. Check it out. This is one technique amongst many. We have over 30 techniques in the Lucky Times app. And let me know how it works for you guys. All right. I hope this was useful. I don't know if you can see. I got the screen thing. Hold on. Let me turn off the screen share here. Mm-hmm. Ah, there we go. Look at this guy. He just wanted to say hi. I hope you guys saw him. Anyway, all right, that's it out of me. Thank you guys. I love seeing you here. I love reading your comments, and sometimes I may get a little spicy. If you have a comment, then I'm like, oh, come on. But it always challenges me to do more and to do better. So keep the comments coming. I appreciate them. And if you have a request for anything new, anything else, let me know, and I'll try to make the video. All right, everybody. All the best. Namaste.